when it comes to doing things in a governmental way, which is where we legislate or we use court cases to give us authority to do things, we need to make sure we're doing them in the spheres of authority that we have and not outside. That's the key. And if you're unsure of an area of jurisdiction, then I wouldn't be doing anything unless I had a clear mandate from God that, hey, yes, I do have permission. I am authorized to do something here. In our own lives, we have authority to administrate our own lives, to bring about our destiny and to see our destiny fulfilled. And there are things that we can do for our own lives, in our own lives, which are different from what we can necessarily do into the world in general. And generally speaking, when you're going to do something legislatively towards a city, an area, dealing with the atmosphere, I would do that with other people. Unless you had a very, very clear thing that you had authority to do this on your own, I'd be looking to do it together with others and do it together with joint authority within that sphere. Because that gives you a protection in the relationship with each other. You're going to not step outside of and only do things on your own when the other two don't agree. So there's sort of wisdom in there to weigh up what you feel and come to an agreement. And therefore, if you're not in agreement, then you don't do things. It's much easier to do that when you're in relationship with people. Now, if you're involved in a house of prayer, then there may be people in the house of prayer who've got no idea of heavenly court things or jurisdiction or whatever. And so there can be a temptation to just, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to, and depending on what's sort of house of prayer it is, you may have people who are into spiritual warfare and they'll be looking to bind this and do that and do the other. And I just don't get involved in any of that anymore because I find I can't be in agreement with it. And I don't want to, in a sense, I don't want to cause problems for people. So I'd rather not do it than come in and try to change what they're doing, because they're wherever they are in their journey, But if I'm in relationship with people and they were doing something which I thought was dangerous, then I would probably point that out to them. But it's their responsibility what they do with that. I think that one of the keys is to establish the relationship to such a level that you're confident of hearing God's voice and knowing his heart, and then you can be more confident in what to do and what not to do. Because it is easy to be moved by compassion, which is coming from our soul and not our spirit, because we see the world, we're part of the world, we're involved, in that, and sometimes our soul can move us to act that our spirit is not in agreement with. And as you become more in tune to the heart of God, I think what you find is you become more sensitive to those type of things. And where there isn't agreement, there is a lack of peace, and that rules in that you find that you're less likely to just do something because your soul, even to do good things, I'm not saying bad things, good things, but they may not be, the timing of those things may not be right. Things might not be in place for us to do all of those things. And, there's a whole kingdom, operating in the realms of heaven, which, we need to be aware of, and, I would say take your time and build the confidence in your relationship and intimacy in the heart of God. Then you'll find it easier to know what and what not to do. And if you've not got peace, don't do it. Then that would be my encouragement. If you're ever in doubt, go back to God. And if you're not hearing him, or you don't feel you're hearing him, don't do anything. Stay where you are. It's easier to stay where you are if you don't know. because you are where you are. If you're going to go somewhere else, you want to make sure where you're going is the right place. So it's always best to stay where you are until you've got a clarity of it. And I didn't share that story of the thing with New York to frighten people. I just wanted to encourage people to be circumspect in what they were doing, because I know when people latch onto something, wow, the courts of heaven, and we've got legislation and authority, and we can assign angels, and we can do all this stuff. People can get excited by all that, and then unwisely try and do that without having the wisdom attached. And some of it, I don't believe God gives you, a shotgun to use when, you aren't able to use it. But that doesn't mean that we don't get involved in some things that we probably better not, shouldn't do at that point. So, just pursue the relationship. And in the relationship, God will show you what He wants you to do. And I think that's, for me, I look around the world. There's millions of things I could do. I have the authority to do a lot of them. I have the ability to do a lot of them, but I don't have a mandate to do them. And therefore I would not do them. And so I very clearly ask God what I'm authorized to do and what I'm not. Some things I have ongoing authority to do things, which is what I continue doing, and there are other things I check out every time. Whenever there's some potential disaster, I ask God, do I have any mandate to deal with it? Most of the time He says no, because other people are dealing with it. So I just trust Him. Hi everyone, we're starting a Patreon page, and we would like to invite you to partner with us. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/freedomarc. Partner with us in taking the message of God's unconditional love, limitless grace, triumphant mercy to a bigger global audience.